Every morning, billions of people around the world reach for the same thing, a warm cup of coffee. But have you ever wondered where it actually came from? The story of coffee is one of the most fascinating journeys in food history, and it started over 1,000 years ago in the highlands of Africa. The legend begins in Ethiopia around the 9th century with a goat herder named Kaldi. One day, he noticed his goats were acting unusually energetic after eating bright red berries from a wild bush. They weren't sleeping at night. They were jumping around with more energy than he'd ever seen. Curious, Kaldi tried the berries himself and felt that same rush of energy. He brought them to a nearby monastery, where a monk threw them into the fire, dismissing them as the devil's work. But something unexpected happened. The fire released an incredible aroma. The monks raked the roasted beans from the embers, dissolved them in hot water, and the world's first cup of coffee was born. From Ethiopia, coffee made its way across the Red Sea to Yemen in the 15th century. Sufi monks began brewing it to stay awake during long nighttime prayers. It spread quickly to Mecca, to Cairo, to Damascus, and then to Istanbul. Yemen became so central to the coffee trade that its port city of Mocha was the world's only source of coffee for nearly 2 centuries. That's right. The word mocha comes from a Yemeni port town. By the 16th century, coffeehouses, called kave-khane, were opening across the Middle East. These weren't just places to drink. They were centers of conversation, chess, music, and news. People called them schools of the wise. Sound familiar? The modern coffee shop culture you see today is centuries old. Coffee reached Europe in the mid-1600s, first through Italy, then spreading rapidly across the continent. London alone had over 300 coffee houses by 1675. Like the Middle East, these became hubs of intellectual life. Lloyd's of London, the famous insurance market, actually started as a coffee house. The Dutch were the first Europeans to get their hands on live coffee plants, and they started growing them in Indonesia, on the island of Java. That's where the slang word Java for coffee comes from. From there, coffee spread to the Americas. In 1720, a French naval officer smuggled a single coffee plant to the Caribbean island of Martinique. That one plant is believed to be the ancestor of the vast majority of coffee grown in Latin America today, the region that now produces over half the world's coffee supply. Today, coffee is the second most traded commodity on Earth after oil. Over 2 billion cups are consumed every single day. It's grown in more than 70 countries, employs around 125 million people, and has shaped economies, cultures, and daily rituals across every continent. All of that. From one goat herder in Ethiopia, noticing his goats wouldn't sleep. That's the origin of coffee. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to Discover Foods, where we trace the history of the foods and drinks that shaped our world.